Hello. So I would like to tell you a little bit about some of the places that I've been to in Russia and in the Caucasus region. So here is a zoomed out map of Europe, and you can see here's Moscow. I think most people are familiar with that. St. Petersburg is kind of up here. The first place I'm going to tell you about is right here. It's a little city called Pyatigorsk. This is where or Pitigorsk in Russian. This is where I lived when I was living in Russia. Let me zoom in a little bit more. And I went to this university, Pyatigorsk State University, as you can see up here. And it's a really cool little place. This is the nearest airport, Mineralnie Vody, or Mineral Waters, about 20 minutes away. And there are lots of little towns nearby. And one of the things that this region is most famous for is for its mineral waters, which is why the closest big city is called Mineral Waters. So let me go to the street view of Pyatigorsk. So this is where my university was. Here you can see kind of the where some of the classrooms were. Here's a McDonald's. That was very exciting for me. And if I go up a little bit here on the street, you have a bit of a better view. This is the dormitory where I lived. And then right next door to it is the university building itself. So that was super convenient for classes. And then right across the street is McDonald's. You can kind of see it right there, McDonald's. That was a little too convenient sometimes for me. You can't see it right now, but right here in the background is Mount Elbrus, which is one of the tallest mountains in Europe. And it's really beautiful on a clear day, but unfortunately today is cloudy and we can't see it. So this is where I was living in Russia and studying at the university there. And since I was in the region, I figured I should travel a little bit. So one of the places that I went to was Sochi. In 2014, I was a volunteer at the Winter Olympics there. And let's zoom in to Sochi. It's on the coast, so it's very beautiful. It was about a 12-hour train ride. You can see from here to there. In terms of Russian distance, that's not that far. And let me zoom in to the Sochi Olympic Park, which is where I spent most of my time when I was there as a volunteer. This area was very new. They built up a lot for the Olympics, so it was very nice. We've got some photos there. I'm not going to go to the street view because it's kind of spread out and hard to see, but I really liked being in Sochi and being able to see the coast here, and that was a nice trip, and my lodging was paid for since I was a volunteer, so that was a very nice treat. And then the last place I'd like to show you, another area that I traveled to from, I lost Pitigorsk. Where is it? All right, here we go. So another place that I traveled to is, when I get to it, Georgia, not the state, the country. It was a pretty easy drive from Pyatigorsk. So again, here's Pyatigorsk right here, and I just had to go down south to Georgia. It was about a 8-hour bus trip, and I stayed in Tbilisi, the capital. Here, so let me zoom in to the capital, and I definitely recommend Georgia as a vacation spot for anyone who's interested in nature, history, architecture, and food, because the wine and the food in Georgia is absolutely amazing. I don't remember the name of the place I stayed, but I know it was nearby these sulfur baths because we went to them, not to take a bath, but just to walk around and look at the old buildings. It's a really cool place. And let's go to the street view so we can see some of the old architecture there. So just a really nice lots of older buildings, older architectures, virtual tour apparently. So I definitely recommend, let's see what else we have here. I definitely recommend Georgia and Tbilisi. This is one of the churches. There's a ton of them there. It's a really nice one because it's on higher up like that, so you can get a great view of the city, of the whole place. And you can see all of the older buildings, some newer ones interspersed as well, but a lot of older buildings too. My favorite spot was I think this is it right here. It's a wine bar. They have giant vats of delicious Georgian wine. So anyways, that's my little tour of some areas in the Caucasus, Pitigorsk, Sochi, and a little bit of Tbilisi. I would definitely encourage you to make it out to this part of the world. Thanks.